Hey guys, we're back with the letter. When I last left off, we got to Rebecca's route. And, yeah. Not much more to say about that. Yep. We're doing the Everybody Lives playthrough. And yeah, they'll log it. That doesn't make sense. All in all, the entire school day ends without a hitch. Could have gone better, mind you. With exams nearing, getting out of work before the sun is set looks as though it's a far off dream for now. At least until they're over. Then we have the holidays to look forward to. There really are times when you simply take what you can get for the time being.
Nothing wrong with that.
All I'm hoping for is this will continue until the whole day ends. There's still that promise I made to Ashton. Frankly, the whole idea alone doesn't sound good. If Isabella didn't talk to them, what makes them think she'll talk to me? It's not like there's a hierarchy, is there? Just because I can handle Isabella's childish tendencies doesn't mean I can do it all the time.
Really, those two give me too much credit.
Nevertheless, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Does that need to be hyphenated? I don't think so. If only because I'm also worried about her. But Zachary and Ashton deem it important that somebody gets the story out of her. This is bugging me. There. Here's to hoping it got nothing to do with the letter. Here's to hoping it's got nothing to do with that letter. Again. I understand if she feels a bit stressed lately, but keeping that story going on for more than a week is... it's bound to get tiring at one point. I mean, you saw the ghost. I mean, like, you saw the ghost in the car. Like, you saw it. Seriously, I really don't want this to end in another argument. God willing, the cafe special will help smoothen things out. After all, it's always been food with her. Or money. Mostly food. And now we're on the hit Luke with the book scene. A classic. Oh yeah, we need to switch this back over. It's filled to the brim with people.
2, evening special.
Yeah, he's punching in the order.
Look, you little ankle biter. If I...
Shout for help? Oh, I need to make sure. Okay, we're this way. Over here. Keep going right. Keep going right. Hit him where it hurts. Super negative, Luke. Shout for help, negative, Luke. Okay.
Let me go, you uncouth lout!
And I'm gonna apologize to Luke. That's just common sense. Super positive Luke and negative Luke for Kylie. Though up until now, we never got around to it. What? She asked if it's possible to try it out here sometime. Well, try what out? Stargazing? Even so, I find myself enjoying this, despite being told it's only half the experience. Little things, you know? Stuff you learn to appreciate when you're alone. Because at certain times, you get to meet people who are unfortunately born with the innate talent to ruin the mood and the scene with their mere existence alone. I think... yeah, okay. Anyone will think nothing will surprise me anymore. Oh yeah, she saw his wife. Oh, this is new, okay. But here I am, standing at the top of the stairwell, watching an odd scene unfold before me. Relief crossed in my mind first, followed by confusion.
What is she doing there?
Although, given what happened this morning, the question feels a bit inappropriate to ask directly. Oh. What's important is Isabella's here. She's sitting cross-legged on the hallway, just right in front of her room. Several papers and folders scattered about. Each of them seems as important as the next. More than once, upon giving the scene a quick scan, I spot Briar Realty's logo at the topmost area of the pages. Everything's considered, it looks like a mess made by a third grader working on crunch time. The landlady will have a few things to say about this when she finds out. I have a few things to say about this myself, in fact. Something in the calm, focused manner she holds herself, at present, keeps me from disturbing her with that reminder. She's going through each paper with this intensity. Her brows are furrowed, lips in a tight line, both hands moving in precise movements, as she shifts through each sheet. She finds something of note, she moves closer, nose almost touching whatever paper she's holding, grabs her phone to call someone.
Hello?
to
Oh.
call you this late. There's something I just want to confirm, if that's okay.
She actually has like a on the phone sprite. That's neat.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Thanks anyway. Not that one either.
It's a cycle. She goes through call after call, then after the last one ends, she shuffles through the pile again and dials another number. Does it work? Like, did she... What day is this? 25th? Or, journal's broken. But, maybe she went to the real estate place with Ashton and got the stuff? I assume? Never seen her this engrossed with her own work before. Otherwise, she would have noticed my presence the moment I reached our floor. After the 9th call, she still appears as oblivious to it as when I arrived. She lets out a loud sigh this time. I immediately take it as an opportunity to interrupt.
Isabella, you know the house rules here.
At once, her head jerks back and hits the concrete wall behind her with a thump. There's the Isabella I know. That is still there. Allow her a moment to nurse it before speaking again.
Becca, you're late.
Yeah, I ran into a little trouble at the cafe. But I brought food for the two of us, if you haven't eaten anything yet.
She just said brought, but in the text she said bought. Explain that. As anticipated, she grins once they erase the bag of food I'm holding. Yet it doesn't reach your eyes. There's nothing of the cheerful glint in it this time. Just a hollow tone for the sake of being polite. Ashton's right. Something's happened.
Yeah, maybe later. I've got to finish this first. Just leave it here. I'll eat it once I'm done.
Why don't you do this in your room?
Thanks, Becca.
You can't eat this here. You know how the landlady would react. Why are you even working outside? Your room's right there.
You raised a valid question here, Rebecca.
I know. Sorry. It just feels stuffy in my apartment.
Oh, because she doesn't want to get her stomach torn out.
I'll go back inside once everything's been aired out. I promise.
That has never bothered you before.
Well, it bothers me now.
Oh, really? Just now? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah? Shouldn't you be happy? I mean, you've been complaining even if it's not your room. Now I know how you're feeling when it's messy, so I'm going to clean. Isn't that a good thing?
Despite what's supposed to be good news, an exhale comes from me, drawn out and slow.
It's a good thing, Isabella. Believe me. But you're as bad as Zachary at lying. What's really going on?
She hastily averts her eyes, a surefire indicator that this is going to be one of those lengthy conversations that could probably end up with the other person angry. Again. It's one thing I'd like to avoid tonight at all costs. Still, I made a promise to Ashton and Zachary. If she didn't talk to them, who else is she going to talk to? If she keeps this all to herself, who knows what might happen.
Isabella, you can tell me. Is it about your family?
A slight movement of her lips, although a frown, it's a reaction at least. Getting there.
Rose?
She merely shakes her head. Just a little more.
Come on, I know something happened. I don't know if it's because of Rose, but I know it's related to her somehow. You weren't here when I visited this morning, and both Zachary and Ashton are worried about you. If you don't want to tell them, you can tell me. Does it have something to do with work? Office?
If I didn't know her, I might have missed it. She shifts then. I mean, wow, that's not obvious at all. Like her forehead turned blue. Only, Rebecca could notice that, no one else. Her fist clenching tight and teeth biting her lower lip, and there's fear. I mean, didn't Zachary notice the same thing? I remember him saying something like that. The look of terror in her is the last thing I expected to see out of everything. Her mouth trembles briefly before she opens them. She finally voices it out, the words simply spell out of her mouth. One after another. All of it. True to what I've promised her, I listen. Because this is something she's been keeping to herself, even from the two most dependable people I know. The fact she chooses to tell me this speaks a lot of
Becca,
to me.
she was there again. Last night? In the office? Boss passed me all of Rose's workload yesterday. For the Ermengarde mansion. I had to stay late to finish them all. And then... when I was about to go home, I saw her. I saw her again. She was standing in front of me again last night, Becca. I couldn't get away. She was blocking the door. If I hadn't hidden myself, even if I made the tiniest noise.
Yeah, QTE God over here.
She found me.
I have QTEs all.
Becca, she almost did. If she saw me under my table, I I think that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, I think it would have been too, based off, this. Anyway.
I'm scared. I'm so scared I won't be able to do anything.
Don't worry, your chapter's already over. You're gonna live, probably. I don't think there's a choice that can result in her death, although I don't know that. By the end, her hands are trembling and her breathing comes out in rasping intervals. For a long moment, I let the silence stretch out between us, let her sobs fill it instead. And even as her soft whimpers die down minutes later, there's a heaviness hanging in the air. Not just from her, but also from me. From my exasperation over the whole matter. From my own frustrations over her stupid superstitions, she could all do us a favor and grow a backbone. At this point, that's not how you should be thinking. You should either be thinking, okay, ghosts are real, I saw the ghost myself, I should, you know, help her out. Or B, recommend she go to like a mental hospital or something. This is not how you react to this. No. One or the other. Not this. That's just... She might be young, but she's not that young. It's about time to put an end to this. End to this. She can keep going on like this. She's still got plenty of years to live out. Or if she goes home, if we're no longer there to keep her affairs in line with what's real, what would she do then? More afraid for her, for what kind of imagination will do to her, than what sort of imaginary monster could. I mean, Rebecca, that's not, well, with the manner she's looking at me right now, there's an expectation in it, a hope and a plea, sewn together. She wants me to believe her this time. If it's like that, then what am I supposed to say now? Is this why you didn't go home last night? I mean, that's... This again, that just seems... I mean, that seems like what Rebecca would say, but... Yeah, that's positive as well, okay. As much as I want to set her straight, her upper end isn't what she needs right now. With that pouty face she's giving me, it'll even end well if I push it. I know her. If she wants to be stubborn, she's stubborn. But there are moments when she'll be acquiescing too. Times when she'll be more accepting of what I tell her, despite her inclination to disagree with it. That talk can wait. In the meantime, I'll be the heir that listens to her without judging her. Without criticizing her, despite my own opinions on it.
You should have called me.
You saw the ghost! She stares at me like I've grown another head, and the laughter slips out before I can stop myself.
There? I can't do that! What will you do? Hit her with a book? You were dead before that happened.
Why do you say that?
And...
That isn't what I'm talking about. After you got out, you should have phoned me. You didn't have to go to Zachary's.
The corners of her mouth curl up. A sheepish smile. My general definition, but this is well, what would you do, Rebecca? Pick her up in the car? You know how that goes. But this is Isabella. She smiles are never half-hearted, never lacks her high spirits. In spite of this, I know everything's gonna be okay. Somehow. I wonder... There's a lot of choices to get Isabella and Rebecca, like, negative. Do you think they have, like, if you get to 0, they have a special ending where they just hate each other? I think there are some negative, like... I know there's romance ending, there's friendship endings, and I assume there's... What's the opposite of friendship ending? Hate ending?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I don't even remember how I ended up in Zach's place. I was in a hurry to get out of the office, and it was already late. Besides, I don't really think you'll believe me if I wake you up over something like that.
That's beside the point. True or not, there are people who will always be concerned about you.
And I, Rebecca, am not one of them, because I hate you.
There's Zachary, but he's the first person you went to, and you didn't tell him anything. You just slept there. There's Ashton too, and me.
She desperately tries to think of friends Isabella has. Don't say yours, don't say yours.
But how do you think I'll be able to explain to your aunt or your family if you suddenly disappeared? Think about that.
Well, no, Ashton knows that. Well, and, well, you know, not disappeared, just died.
Right. I'll remember that next time.
Then she grins. Playful and mischievous, a preamble to an old banter. Still not quite there, still not quite her usual self. Well, with it, no, we're bound to get her back soon.
Mom.
I told you not to call me that.
Sending an elbow to her side for added measure, but when laughter follows the familiar gesture, none of it is unexpected. This is what's comfortable. This is how we found an equal ground despite our stark differences. So for the moment, I accept things as they are. Afterwards, a hush stretches out before us. For Isabella, this is rare. This isn't her. Yet, in this moment, as she fiddles with the edge of another paper near her, she hugs her knees close to herself and lets a pensive expression linger on her, feel strangely fitting. As if this is where everything's supposed to lead it to if we allowed it long ago. Seconds later, the moment is broken by the sound of a door easing open, a voice begging some little piece.
How many times have I told you girls not to loiter around the hallway? It's noisy. Some people here are trying to sleep. Quiet down or go do your talking inside. I'm pinning a memo to your door the next time this happens.
You better not pin a memo to my door.
Millennials.
Oh, she just spoke the millennials!
Sorry, we won't do it again.
You'd better.
The door closes and Isabella starts gathering the mess she's made, carefully stacking them all in her arm. At a loss for what to do, I help pick them, and or the first time, I get a closer look at it. Completely unintentional, of course, but it catches my attention nevertheless, and a confused frown makes its way to my face. Why is she looking through this? I look to her for an explanation, but she merely ignores the question in my eyes, takes the paper off my hands, and finishes cleaning up. Yeah, OBS is working good. The last paper she puts on top is a letter. The letter! The one she supposedly found in the mansion was probably the root cause of this odd behavior. I should do a questioning look for that too. But all she gives me is a smile. In a halting tone, so completely unlike her.
Becca, I'll find a way out of this. You guys don't have to worry about me.
Isabella, look, I already saved you. Don't set off death flags.
Anyways, I should go. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Getting myself some food. Don't wait for me.
She just got you food. Isabella walks away before I can stop her, before I can remind her I've brought food enough for the two of us. She quickly disappears down the stairwell, while I'm left standing in an empty hallway, holding 2 bags of takeout. One of them will be yawning tonight. Just an innocent passing thought. One that I don't dwell much on as I head back to my room. I ignore all of it, the same way I've assumed I won't ever encounter that guy again. Oh yeah, Jono. And she immediately meets him again. Or as nice as I can get with words of Isabella's whereabouts creeping up on me every now and then. I assume this is just a destroyed... Oh no, we're just not at the common round yet. Well, we're technically in the common round? I mean... The common round is the round in the middle! Okay? The dinner I brought had since been given to a different neighbor before it spoils. By all means, there shouldn't be anything to lose sleep over. She's gone on work trips before, usually for a day or two, so I'd simply be one of those. Although it's often with a message saying exactly where. Yo! Being that neighbor must be like the best thing in the world. So imagine this. You're hungry, you know. You're like, oh boy, I'm gonna cook myself some dinner. And you're just about to when someone shows up at your door and they're like, hey, I have an extra meal. Do you want this? I mean, that's just magic food, really. What is the... Doyer? No. She's ended our last chat with that Ganaz.
Like an ugly premonition.
Like a death flag. And as expected, just as things start to settle and a steady rhythm finally warms its way back to my routine, this day morning brings further disturbance to the now calm waters. With a little ceremony, though still enough to ripple through everything. In retrospect, I really should have seen this coming. Westbourne is a small city, relatively speaking. Afraid to say London or Glasgow. Right? Yeah. I think you're good at handling her. Yeah, that's positive, Luke. Okay, we can't see the journal. Where are we now? Oh, just, okay. Fran shows up in her flat right after worrying reports pop up in the local news. It simply isn't enough time to breathe and get a grip on things. What's... Huh? I don't get what she's talking about. I have been flipping through the pages of said book moments ago. I'm never really reading anything, I'm really hoping for a distraction. To no avail. Oh, yeah, the Marianne call. That shouldn't deviate. Now, do we want... Let's look at the flowchart for this. What happens in each of the ones? I have other things to do, results in negative Luke. Okay, but only because Kylie asks, possibly. What did we do before? This is the one where we... Oh, we ended up going Ashton. I have other things to do as positive Ashton, and the bottom one obviously has positive Luke. How's... Ooh, I do want to max all the friends. Let's go, Luke. In the end, it's my own fondness for Kylie that wants out. Chances are, I'll only have to endure his presence for an hour or so. For less more than that, I can make up an excuse. Sudden call from a friend or things to work on. Doesn't seem so bad when I think of the pros and cons. Best, it'll be a quiet dinner. Worst, it'll be an awkward affair we're both eager to get rid of. Leaning more on the latter happening, hoping for the former, of course.
Okay, but only because Kylie asked.
Kylie's face instantly lights up. Wait, oh no, I have to listen to Kylie talk. No. For the third time today, she tackles me into a hug before pulling away and dragging me by the hand towards the building's exit.
That's alright. I'm sure Tio doesn't mind.
He minds.
He let me pick where we're going to eat. Don't worry, it's just close.
Luke follows closely behind. Perhaps out of some desire to keep the dead air away. Can't resist throwing in a quip.
Keep your distance. You better not do anything funny, you hear?
I'm the one who should keep my distance. May I remind you who approached me first and what you did right after?
Oh, I remember it clearly. But perhaps it's you who needs a reminder. You seem to have never learned your lesson. Care we give it another try?
She has a book. Don't do it, Luke.
Maybe this time it'll stick.
Oh, she has a stick!
Maybe this time it's a stick. You think you're scary?
I
I'll
love
show
Luke.
you what's scary.
To my surprise, his tone lacks the usual sardonic note in it, and briefly, I pause to stare at him. Quickly shuts his mouth right after and walks ahead of us. All talk and no trousers like the usual. For the better part of her walk, except for Kylie's excited chatter, we don't speak. Somehow, I have this strange feeling I'm already getting used to this kind of banter with them. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Amidst this newfound friendship, do I call it that? Ashton's message lay forgotten and abandoned in my pocket. Ashton Shamashton. Dinner date. Good achievement. All the places near there's Luke and there's something else, and I couldn't tell what it was. Maybe that's the back of Kylie's head. All the places nearest to school, Kylie picks this one and waiting for food to be served is as awkward as I imagine it would be. They don't have any other backgrounds for cafes or restaurants or anything. Not the bad sort though. The pleasant kind. Surprisingly, Luke's an okay bloke when he tries. Did she just say bloke? When he tries. So long as you're willing to look past the tactless remarks, or not exchanging acerbic quips. Claire's making an effort for this to be as fun as possible for the 6-year-old by being chattier, and going as far as to laugh when Kylie's story calls for it. It's an interesting thing to hear from the man. More than once, they catch his frequent cheesed-off expression easing when he looks at the girl.
And your friend? Did you make up with her?
Yep. She said she just saw something she didn't like. She didn't accept the jellies, though. She told me to give it to you instead. She knows you like the red ones, too.
Ha 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 ha, how did she know that?
Very well. Hand it to me later. I'll bring some of them home. I think your Tia would love to have some.
What a terrible liar. Since he dislikes the idea of having children of his own, but it's easy to see some part of him genuinely wants them. Oh, did the relationship just go up with them? Huh. I didn't know a relationship could go up if there wasn't a choice. Just because, you know, when you make a choice, the relationship instantly shoots up instead of it going up, you know, when the relevant dialogue happens. What's stopping him? As Kylie wanders to the nearby bookshelves, after having lost interest in the conversation, however, both revert back to silence. On your own, we have little to talk about, except for a few questions about the other here and there. At one point, it does veer on local politics and histories. He's surprisingly versed that he can hold a decent conversation without throwing a jibe. Nothing too personal is ever mentioned so far, though. It's too early for those. Since I don't like him enough to speak of every minute detail of my life. It's minute, right? Not minute. Better keep it strictly between the silence and the casual repartee. That's the chef who makes like ravioli, right? Chef repartee. This whole thing already looks and feels... That's ravioli, right? Chef Boyardee. Where is that? I'm not into the whole like ravioli game. I gotta be honest. Like don't tell anyone, but I don't like a lot. Like ravioli. Like that's like dumpling composed of filled filling between 2 layers of thin pasta dough. But ravioli typically has like tomato sauce or whatever in it. Like I gotta be honest. Like I don't like tomato sauce. Or cheese, so I hate pizza. Don't tell anyone. People would kill me over that. Like, don't tell anyone that. Which is always awkward. I always hear about people like loving pizza and it being the best food in the world, and I just kind of feel like empty. Like, what am I missing out on? Like I've tried pizza before, but I just hate it. Like, I don't think I'll ever come around to it. Same with cheese. Like, every once in a while, I'll try something with cheese and be like, this is still gross. Although, I think I hate the tomato sauce more than the cheese in pizza. Like, there's some things with cheese, like, if the cheese, if the taste isn't strong enough, I can deal with, but with pizza, no, that's just disgusting. Well, yeah, disgusting, really. Like, I can't... If I was starving and I had to choose between like pizza and like a rock, I mean, I'd probably choose the pizza because don't be ridiculous. A rock's a rock, but I mean. So when another bout of silence hits us and becomes too much, taking to finding something else to occupy myself. Just get back to the game. Toying with my mobile, turning it from hand to hand while we wait for our respective meals. I can relate to that. But it'll be a complete lie if I say I'm not waiting for some intervention. Something to pull me away from this place. Someone. Ashton's probably at Salem Mall by this time, working on whatever business he has there. Maybe if I make up an excuse and leave now, I can still catch him.
Cut that out, it's distracting.
My hand stills, holding the gadget awkwardly between us, rested mid-pass by his bored tone. Been quiet for a long minute now, after complaining about how appalling the tea they're serving here is. Before that, he's whined about how uncomfortable his chair is and how tasteless the decorations they have here. Previous to that, he griped about how dull the place is, compared to the one he frequents on the upper class side of the city. Well, I'm sorry for being a bunch of peasants here, Your Majesty. Figures you'll lose patience soon, having already grumbled about almost everything his eyes can reach. It's just unfortunate he's turned to me now.
Why don't you just look somewhere else?
I can't. If I turn elsewhere, I might end up looking at the bobfuck right behind us.
Are you okay, Luke?
Bob, do I even want to ask?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't want to hear it. It's coming out of his mouth and can only be rude or offensive. Regardless, he continues.
Everything looks good. But have you seen the face? True horror.
What is wrong with you? You know, I frown about this in practice, but that mouth needs to be washed out with a particularly potent soap.
Wow.
Preferably by your own mum.
Ooh, whoa. Hold on, Rebecca.
Shame she isn't here.
For whatever reason, that puts an end to that talk right away. Returns to watching his godchild, who's found a particularly interesting picture book and is now poring... Is that how you spell pouring over it? I've never thought about that before. Well, I turn back to my mobile. Still no message. Would I kill him to at least send a message? Check if I were home? I mean, didn't he send you a message? Meanwhile, Luke's silence lasts all about 10 seconds.
What is it with the damn mobile? Are you on a curfew?
He's got the immature act down pat, I'll give him that. Seriously, how old is this guy? Has he somehow been deprived of affection during childhood? Rebecca, don't go that route.
And what is it to you? I don't think it's any of your business what I do with it.
It is my business, all right? 1, I'm the one paying here. 2, I'm being forced to eat dinner in a place this stuffed and noisy. Lastly, it's been 10 minutes, the food isn't here, and I'm hungry. What you're doing with the mobile is annoying and distracting, when the least you could do is keep things entertaining while I suffer.
That's your problem? Shouldn't you be more worried about how this entire affair looks to other people?
Oh, I didn't realize this was one. You move fast, Daisy. You could have informed me first, you know. Had I known, I would have taken you someplace nicer.
Is that what happens if you're, like, married? You accidentally sit down in a booth with a girl and boom, you're cheated?
Certainly the kind with better food and plenty of good wine.
Why did I ever think this was a good idea? Did it ever occur to you how inappropriate this might look to everyone?
Why should I care? It's only inappropriate if you make it out to be. Relax. I won't do anything to make your boyfriend angry. He doesn't even need to know we dined out.
Ash is currently staking out watching Luke, right? She's like, hey, that girl looks familiar. I recognize the back of that head.
It'll be our dirty little secret.
He's not my boyfriend.
The words come out with more force than I've intended. By the time I realize my slip up, his lips are already spread in his ear. He slowly crawls up in my
Oh,
face.
so there is someone. You're so easy to read.
Briefly, his eyes search my face. That thing is really rocking back and forth. Like, someone needs to, like, stop that. Or there's, like, a constant earthquake going on. Anyway, I have no idea what he sees, nor do I care to know. But in the next second, he barks at a laugh, displaying his amusement without reserve to everyone within earshot. In that moment, I know I've flipped a switch in him somewhere, and I've lost my change to deny his assumptions. Do I even want to? Is that the reason why I've been so focused on my mobile, waiting for another message for him? For a reason to dump at this awkward meeting to go after him?
Look how mottled you are.
It's very late. Okay, it's just even with Ashton.
Now the nickname makes more sense. Shy Miss Pink and her cute little crush. The color suits you, by the way. It matches the hair.
It's not a crush.
Classic denial. But in reality, you want him to be yours, and your every move is made to make him notice you. In fact, you don't want him to see you with another man in a non-professional capacity, because he might misinterpret it.
The same thing goes for you, doesn't it? Bloody, yours is even worse.
No, I mean, he's cheated like countless women. One more doesn't hurt.
What about your wife? Aren't you concerned she might misinterpret this?
Daisy, just because we tied the knot doesn't mean we have to be joined at the hip at every single opportunity.
Don't be ridiculous. Why else would you marry her if you don't want to be with her for the rest of your lives?
Because, Daisy, she also has other things she can do with her life and friends to spend time with. Granted, I don't like some of them, and I have a few of my own she utterly dislikes. But wifey doesn't have to know my every move. Nor do I hers. Do you know how boring that would be? To be with the same person for all hours of the day. Losing sleep over the mere fact they're not with you, or putting everything you have aside to please them, to have your whole world revolve around one person.
Aren't you just mistaking that for something else? Unlike you, there are other people here who don't share the same jaded outlook you have. Don't lump everyone together just because it didn't work out for you.
I mean...
And you, my dear, are unexpectedly naive.
What's so naive about it? If you love each other, wouldn't you want to always see them, be with them, to have them focus solely on you?
I mean, no. I mean, like, I would want some time to myself.
Maybe you haven't been loved enough.
Well, Rebecca!
Oh,
you can't keep
It's
saying that!
kind of thing for you, isn't it? The love is eternal, love is a strong emotion shite. A starry-eyed girl pining for her dashing Prince Charming? What's next? Romantic confessions of love? A grand wedding on the beach? Dozens of spawns running around in some picturesque home in the suburbs? How quaint. Are you also expecting it's going to be sunshine and rainbows after? A happily ever after? Please.
What? I never once said... And is all of that such a bad thing to hope?
Woman, I've been married for 7 years, and I'm telling you, it's far from what you have in your pretty red head. Tell me, how long has this song and dance been going for you and your man? Maybe I am mistaken.
Averting my eyes from him is all I managed to do. What does his mere 7 years have compared to the 17 I've had with Ash? It's laughable he thinks those two things are even comparable. Ash and I may have never moved past the boundaries of friendship. What I'm hoping for years. Like, what I'm hoping for years. What I've been hoping for. Well, what we have isn't something anyone could scoff at. I've always been by his side, dared everything with him. No one better than anyone. No matter what this man, this complete stranger, says, there will always be a place for me beside him. She still doesn't always look right, right? And yet...
Come on, Daisy, that shouldn't be too hard. 3, 5, 8, 10, 20.
His words easily seep into my heart like sharp daggers, gradually picking apart everything I've ever been sure of. Despite myself, the doubts resurface and my defenses crumble right in front of my eyes. It's no wonder he sees through me. And as expected, he ridicules it. Laughs. Restrained, low and rumbling, sharp sounds striking the air around us. With the murmur of people and soft notes of music playing over our heads. This scene is really going on. His shoulders shaken when his mirth becomes too much even for him. He reaches up a hand and passes it over his face, as if to hold his glee close to him.
Lordy bullocks, this is just brilliant. Oh, mother, why do I always keep running into these things? This day couldn't get any better. I think I'm gonna need a stiff drink after this.
He always needs a drink after this. It dissolves into another peal of laughter. When it subsides, what he has for me are more words. Like after he finishes drinking something, he needs another drink. Scathing, each of them. The extra run from here has never been this strong.
Is everything you said how you plan to act, if that man of yours ever ends up with you?
This food is taking a long time.
Cling to him? Put him on a bloody pedestal? Let him become the center of your universe? Although with how long this seems to be going on, I think you've already done so. Marriage will just be icing on the top.
Okay, I'm glad the game's self-aware of this. Because basically, Rebecca's entire character is kind of revolved around Ashton. So I'm glad that it's,
Like some sort of reward for you, isn't it? For being a good, patient, loyal little girl all this time. Never looking at another man. He must have been having a grand time with someone pining over him this long. I'm a little envious, to be honest.
Like, if it did it in, like, an anime scenario, I wouldn't really think about it. I'd be like, okay, that's kind of bad writing, but I wouldn't think much about it. But, since this is, like, this is a Western story, I want to get it out here. I think I'm easier on this game because it's a Western release. I tend to be because I expect them to be, like, my expectations are lower, therefore I'm more easily impressed, But, like, when, like, a Japanese studio does it, it's like, oh yeah, that's just a common trope. But, when a Western place does it, that's just copying the trope, and that's even worse than the trope itself.
Maybe also a little surprised he hasn't suffocated from all your attention yet.
Laugh all about it if you want. It's not like you'll ever understand.
Luke falls silent. The ridicule in him is gone in an instant, and his eyes meet mine, sharp and imposing. I challenge, but I hold it against him with the same intensity. So if there's something I won't let his opinion trample on, it's this. What does he know? However, he's the first one who looks away, focusing his eyes back into where Kylie is. For a moment, I believe I've won. Where is she? Till he draws in a breath and turns back to me. The words he drops next, though hushed, hang heavily in the distance between us.
You're right. I won't. But I do know not to mistake love for obsession, woman. They are not the same thing.
It rattles. Of everything he said tonight, it's the one thing that twinges my heart. If it's in the matter he delivers it, the lack of conceit in his posture, and underlying insult is the tone he takes. We're almost 40 minutes in. I want to end this scene. Oh god, there's so much more! The remark is not meant to cut, merely to express a simple truth. This time, it's him who holds the gaze against mine. Another unspoken challenge. I realize that. This happened minutes before. I already have an equally searing retort at the tip of my tongue. There's none. But the anger is there, wringing out my insides, prodding at the uncertainties I've long kept. Isn't it enough? We have the long years we've been together. We have the memories. Whenever he needs me, till other people came in between us, I've always been the one there. That dedication and loyalty should mean something, shouldn't it? I've always been sure of it. That one day, we'll see it for what it is. In spite of that, in this minute, under this man's scrutiny, my own heart rate wavers. These both sound negative. Oh no, I got lost. I don't need to answer that. Well, oh, none of them have. Okay. Yeah, but these are for me to ponder on. They went up, but the guy doesn't say they go up. Okay. Or maybe they both make it. This guy doesn't need to hear them, and neither is he entitled to them just because he dished out some profound-sounding life wisdom no one asked for. I think I'm gonna call it there. We're going on too long, and there's gonna be another bit after this, so... I'll see you guys next time. Bye.